2020 has been a year for the books for sure. I can't say it's been a great year for the entire world, but some really cool stuff has happened for us in our life. Good stuff, bad stuff, normal stuff. And we're going to count them down for you. The 20 things that impacted us the most from 2020.
Yeah, not all of these are good, but so number one, and I think this would probably be number one on everybody's list in the world, and that is COVID. You know, we've been on an international journey, and as the world shut down, we had to go through the whole process of figuring out what we were going to do, how we're going to move forward with our journey, how we're going to stay safe, obviously concerned about our family and our friends back home, and so all those things. And so the COVID, just like for the rest of you, has been a really big challenge for us, but we've adjusted. We've got masks, we've got the hand sanitizer, we do the social distancing, and then our new way of traveling, where we're not so much in cities anymore, but we're actually out in more rural areas, kind of campgrounds and sparse areas. We really feel like being back in the van and moving in the way we are, we're a lot safer. So
yeah. So COVID, number one on everybody's list.
I think so, yeah.
So number two for us has nothing to do with van life, but it was a huge life moment for me and for Curt, because he's been in the family for quite a while now. But we don't have kids, so our nieces and nephews hold special spots for us. And my niece Harley got married first weekend of January. We drove all the way across the United States to see it. We actually filmed it and did her wedding video for her, and it was an amazing weekend.
Happy anniversary.
Yeah. So that's my number one on the list, Harley getting married.
Yeah, and it was a little bit chaotic because we had to interrupt our Farewell USA Tour race across the U.S. But then, number two, we crossed an international border into Mexico, and we were super excited to do that. But we got into Mexico, as soon as we into Tijuana, we got lost. We got on this bumpy road, and all our fears started to kind of grow inside of us. But anyway, it was a really big thing, and actually, in hindsight, it was super easy to do. We got 6 months in Mexico per our crossing, and a 10-year temporary import pass for our van. And but our year in Mexico has been phenomenal.
Our first international crossing of many to come. Yes. All right. So the next one, we touched whales. We were in the Baja. We went out on a whale tour. We'd been following the gray whales for months, all the way down the Pacific coast. And we went out on a whale tour where they have their babies. And this one whale came up and literally was playing with our boat, and we touched a whale.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to say much more than that, other than we got to touch a gray whale, and it was amazing.
It was phenomenal, and we actually got to see him multiple times. Jump from the shoreline as we kind of bounced along the beaches of the Baja. And I had to tell you, the Baja is an amazing place, and something every van lifer should put on their bucket list. And which brings me to number 5, which is TOTO SANTOS, which is a little beach community down in southern Baja California, north of Cabo San Lucas, just out of the touristy area. We got to release the sea turtles there, and we were just, you know, camped up on the beach for multiple nights, and we could just watch the whales jump out of the water, and it was a magical experience for us.
And the little town's pretty cool too.
The little town in Hotel California.
Hotel California, All right, so number 6 on our list of 20 things from 2020 is we swam with seals and whale sharks. Now, whale sharks was a bucket list item for Curt, so that was cool. And I have this infatuation with seals, so that was amazing. But the biggest part of it is the fact that I got in the ocean. Y'all
terrified of sharks.
Whether you know or not, I have this irrational, stupid fear, but it is a real fear of sharks. But those cute little seals, they got me. I got in. We swam in the ocean with seals and whale sharks.
Yeah, I'm super proud of you. You've overcome a lot of fears this year in this journey, and it's helped to make this a really amazing journey. But the seals were super fun and a big surprise. But the next thing, number 7 on the list, is the butterfly migration. And we actually timed our entry into Mexico so we could catch the whales in the early part of the year and still catch the butterfly migration, where millions of monarch butterflies migrate south from as far north in Canada and Michigan and Illinois and all the northern states down to a mountain here.
Yeah.
We saw millions of butterflies. Went on a horse ride,
Yeah.
which was not my favorite, by the way.
But it is part of the list.
But the butterflies and Michoacan with the mountains and
Yeah.
the big pine
Beautiful.
trees was absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
So that definitely makes our list.
Yeah. So number 8. You know, sometimes you see a picture of a place and you're like, I gotta go there. And then you get there and you're kind of let down. That did not happen at number 8. When we were doing the research for the trip, I spotted a picture of this most amazing place, Tolentongo. It's in the central Mexican mountains up in Hidalgo. And you get there and it is just like the pictures you see. It's the most magical place with these hot pools on the side of a mountain, this hot river, and these big caves with waterfalls that you could just swim in and play in with clean, fresh water. Beautiful place. Beautiful.
Yeah, that was a place. I'd like to have that playground in my
Yeah.
backyard. Anytime there's thermal water, I'm in.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
yeah. And that brings up the the next one, which we were kind of up north of Mexico City in that region, and there was this beautiful little slow kind of lazy river with like seven cascadas or something of different kinds, but it was very relaxing. We were kind of able to park out right in front of the waterfalls and just play in the water, jump off the cascadas, great photo opportunities, and we're just relaxed and just chilling. And all of a sudden, this lady comes by out of nowhere with this big pineapple, and it's all carved out, so it's full of juice and got other fruit, and it's all decorative. And it was like 20 pesos or something, whatever. But that was a super cool experience.
I still think that might be some of the beaches in Baja, but that might be my favorite camp spot we've had
was
so
a
far.
fun place. It really was. Also where we heard about the COVID.
It is where that started.
We had to make a run from there.
Yeah, it is. It's true. Yeah. Number 10, which because of the COVID, we beelined to a little city we had picked out on the ocean on the Pacific coast called Puerto Escondido. We rented an apartment. We were there for 5 months. It's where we locked down and rode out the hardest part of the coronavirus worldwide shutdown. And that place became like a second little home. It will always hold a very special spot. There's so many things about Puerto Escondido, but I decided for this list, the whole area just gets its own item because it was home to us during a very scary time in the world. And Puerto Escondido.
Hi, Susie and Alejandro. And the gang.
Yep.
And then the next one is while we were there, we're in our bedroom, and all of a sudden, the world starts shaking.
Yes.
So I get up and look on, and we had never been through a major earthquake. I think this was a
7.6 or something like that.
So it was pretty big. But I got out, and we're in a concrete building, and told Snow, get out here. The pool was shaking, everything was shaking, and it actually lasted for a little bit.
It was,
a little bit. But we're in the middle of a global pandemic, and all this stuff is going on. We're freaking out, trying to figure out what we do, and then a giant earthquake comes. So go figure.
Yeah. So 2020 brought us our first earthquake. But another thing that happened while we were in Puerto Escondido is we put a lot of work in on our YouTube channel.
A lot.
We focused on it really hard, worked on our editing, because if you don't know, we knew nothing about editing when we started our YouTube channel, and it really started to take off. YouTube actually recognized us as creators on the rise, which was amazing. Lots of cool stuff came with that. We met a lot of you guys through that Creator on the Rise promotion, and we're just super excited because we love sharing our journey and how well YouTube took off for us in 2020 is something we're very thankful for. It had to make the list.
Yeah, and part of that was our van tour, and thank you guys for watching our van tour. It's got, I don't know, well over 1 million.
Yeah, we're almost at 2 million views on our van tour, so thank you guys.
And that prompted a lot of comments about, do you have van plans? Do you have more detailed information? And so since we were already kind of hunkered down, we hunkered down and doubled down and put a lot of work into the van plans. And we launched that, and that has been huge. Not only for those of you out there who are kind of looking to build a van, looking for some extra details, and really honestly looking for some details on technology that's not widely out there. And we had a great response, and we're super excited about that. And it has gone a long way to help us fund your journey through 2020 And so that was very exciting. So thank you for all those you who looked at our van plans and bought those.
Yeah.
Again, it goes a long way to help fund our journey.
Yeah, it does. And the virus has caused our budget to just grow.
It really has. Yeah.
Which is an impact of 2020, but we're making it through, and you guys are helping us.
Thank you.
Yes. All right. So the next one is, we spent 5 months in Puerto Escondido, but then when we knew it was time to kind of start moving again, and we thought we could do it safely in the van because it's so easy to social distance in the van, we decided let's pick up and move to a different type of city in Mexico. So we went to San Cristobal, a little mountain city in the middle of Chiapas, Mexico, a beautiful little town that you just fall in love with, walking streets everywhere. We spent 2 months there, kind of half in the van, half in an apartment, while we were testing out the waters of getting back in the van during the pandemic. But just like Puerto Escondido, it holds a special place because the virus was such an impact on us, and that was part of our movement through how we dealt with the virus. So San Cristobal, a beautiful city full of churches and artists, and just really nice.
Yeah, but I feel like after being there for a couple months and seeing more and more people come to the city and stuff, it just actually felt better or more safe and more comfortable being in the van. And so that's what we decided to do. We moved back into the van full time. And we kind of began very selectively traveling, and one of the first spots on our list was number 15, El Chiflón Waterfalls. And again, I don't know if it's because we were back on the road and I was just super excited, but it had a dramatic drop and it was a cool waterfall. I gotta be honest with you, the weather conditions weren't the best, but I was absolutely loving it. A beautiful cascada, a nice hike, a couple nice hikes, and just a good place to kind of stay for the night and get our feet
and relax
wet again.
And get back on, get our wheels back on.
Yeah,
get
our wheels back on, 100%.
Yeah, and Curt actually climbed it. It's an intense hike up a lot of stairs to the top of the waterfall, and he actually did it twice because the first time the drone footage was not so good, and he's like, I gotta go get more drone footage. And I made it almost halfway up.
Oh, she did phenomenal, guys.
Which brings us to the next one. And I put this on the list not because this mountain was some magical place and it was the best hike ever, but because I did this entire hike. So it's a little mountain outside of San Cristobal, and we went on a hike where we thought we were just going to walk through a little park and see some orchids. It ended up being this mountain hike.
Yeah.
And old snow, previous van life snow, would have taken like 20 steps up the first incline, looked up and said nope, and turned around and gone back to the van. But it kept going. And it may sound silly, but I'm pretty proud of myself for making that entire hike. And if you saw that video, it ended kind of scary, but then hysterical because rainstorms came and there's this whole dramatic story. But the bottom line is I did a very intense hike, which is exciting because it means I'll be able to do more of that on this journey around the world. So me climbing a mountain.
And honestly, guys, that's a way bigger thing than it sounds like, because on this journey, we've both gotten healthier. We've lost some weight. Snow's had some bad knees and she's able to get on those a lot better, and I'm feeling better. So that's been sort of an awesome, an awesome side effect. Yeah. But as we headed on in our journey, we got into the jungle. And I got to tell you, I love the jungle. And we came across this Yaxchilan jungle ruins. We took like a 45-minute boat ride up to these ruins in a remote place, and it was mystical and magical, and the monkeys, and it was
nobody else was there. We had these Mayan ruins from 780 all to ourselves. Yeah, and because they're so hard to get to, they're not so touristy, and you can climb on them, and it was magical.
And since then, we've been to multiple ruins, including Chichen Itza, which is one of the 12 ancient wonders of the world. Yeah. And I got to tell you, that Yaxchilan, Tulum, we were just at Tulum. I got to tell you, that's still way far my favorite ruin. Yeah,
it's going to be hard to beat it. So maybe Machu Picchu will be able to beat it.
Yeah.
We'll see in a year or two.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. So this whole year in this new lifestyle that we're living, we have met some of the most amazing people, some just briefly, but they had a big impact on us. A lot of people through social media, quite a few people in Puerto Escondido where we hung out for a while. People that we met through our YouTube channel, a lot of you guys that we have conversations through our comments with.
That's been beautiful.
Yeah, and a couple of YouTube people we actually bumped into, our YouTube subscribers we bumped into on the road. So that's Sue and Henry, and then we've got Angie and Mauricio, just too many to name.
Yeah.
But and most of them are travelers and are like-minded like us. So of course we love our old friends back home and our family and all that. We miss them. It's the number one thing we miss. But the new friends we're making on this journey.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah, and during the COVID, obviously the travel slowed down, so we don't run into as many travelers. But it's starting to tick up just a little bit.
Yeah.
We're seeing some other faces on the road, and
they'll come back.
Yeah.
That's something I look forward to with the pandemic being over.
Yeah, but meeting friends on the road
Yeah.
is just absolutely amazing, and sharing experiences and the other journey. And then I got to tell you, number 19, we're winding down, guys, but 19 is just the van itself, you know? And I got to tell you, I didn't have any experience converting a van before this. And we jumped in and did our farewell to USA tour for 7 months and kind of worked some bugs out. I got to tell you, the van has held up perfectly through all this, or all the topes, all the bumpy roads. Guys, we have been off-grid places where you probably wouldn't go in your car in this thing. So for being that, it's been amazing. The solar is working great. The battery system that we have, I wouldn't mind having a couple more batteries. But the air conditioner is running really well.
Yep.
The recirculating shower is
amazing.
And we use that frequently. And so just overall, the van has really kind of performed almost like above my expectations of being a comfortable home, but that gets us out into the world to see all these amazing adventures. So I gotta have the van on this list.
Yeah, and we've been taking good care of it. It just got new tires, so it just got new shoes. It got it detailed, new oil, new filters, and that rolls into number 20 for me, because we had all these unknowns. You know, we had this big master plan to take this van around the world, and some people might have looked at that at the beginning and been like, "These guys are crazy. You can't drive a van around the world." But this past year, you know, taking care of the van, being able to find places in a foreign country to do our services, not being able to speak the language, but still be able to get through borders and military checks, and Curt getting an ear infection and having to go to the doctor and being able to do that in a foreign country, and all the logistics. This past year has showed us there is zero doubt in my mind we can make this journey around the world.
Yeah. I gotta believe 2020's gotta be the hardest years to thrive in a van.
Yeah. So number 20 is on our list is we can do it. We can take this van around the world.
You can do it.
Yeah. So that had, just because there was a lot of unknowns, and maybe even a little bit of inside of my subconscious questioning ourselves, but no doubt in my mind, this thing's going around the world.
You know, we're all capable of doing so much more than we ever think, and you know, just getting into the van and getting out and living life to the fullest, looking for the positive things, you know, while still following all the safe guidelines and stuff like that. It's just made it amazing year for us, and we hope that you have enjoyed our content. Thank you so much for following along with us and joining the journey. We appreciate our Patreons and our other member subscribers. You guys are really special to us, because this journey's gotten a lot more expensive with the COVID and our travel arrangements. And so all the support that we've gotten from you guys, and even if it's watching the videos, that helps us out a lot. And so we really appreciate all that stuff, and we thank you so much.
So, and don't forget, if you see anything in our videos that you like, you can scroll to the bottom. There will be a link to our Amazon store where you can find things that are just like ours. That helps us just as much to fund the fact of all the extra costs we've had for the pandemic, and fund the journey going forward. Follow us on Instagram, hit the like button if you haven't subscribed to it. Happy New Year, and let's hope 2021 is amazing for everyone.
2021, let's go. Cheers, guys.
If you liked this video, be sure to give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when we put out new videos. To see behind the scenes action and help support our journey, head over to our YouTube membership page. You can find the link in the video description. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in a few days.